Okay, before we get started with the episode 200 Dynamite Delight, I gotta say this now. I know if I don't say this now, someone's gonna leave a comment and think I don't know. And think I'm totally clueless. I'm not. I know what happened with Vince. I know. I know what's happened with Vince. I know that there's a subpoena has been issued from the grand jury. I believe that's what it is, grand jury. He's been subpoenaed. So I know. I also know that Vince is still home recovering from spinal surgery, which is a big deal. So I'm leaving it. I'm not going to report on it. I am aware of it. I believe we should wait a few days until we get more information on how bad this is going to be for Vince McMahon. And does that mean it's going to be good for us or not? As much as people are going to leave comments, listen to me. I'm not going to answer your comments on this is great for Vince. I'm going to say, wait. I am waiting. I am not going to give you an answer, this is great or this is bad. I am not going to do it. I am going to say we're going to wait. I'm waiting. So if you leave the comment, which you're not going to listen to because many people don't listen to me, I am not going to answer you saying that it's right, this is great, or this is really bad. I am leaving it. Okay? I had to say this is a minute and 30 seconds. I had to say it. Now, episode 200, and I know I could have... I'm sure people want to know what I think about Britt Baker and Ty Valkyrie. I may add that with the Vince thing. But let's look at episode 200 of Dynamite. It's a good, better than the average show. In fact, we got a lot of development for certain people. Is it great? I don't know yet. But we got development for certain people. Now, first match. Garcia and Sammy Guevara versus Chris and Konosuke Katesuka. Let me give it to you like this. Seeing that Chris has been neutral mainly. Even though he hasn't decided what he wants to do with JS and himself, he's been generally neutral. He hasn't said he's going for it. He just needs time to think. Seeing how Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia have acted in the last couple of weeks hasn't been that bad. But I'm not saying them as a tag team is great either. I'm not. I'm just saying that at least they booked them somewhat strong. So what do we get here? We got a decent match. And I will tell you this. We've seen the one who had the most... when it comes to Daniel Garcia... Look, I'm botching on Daniel because I never really liked him that much. I'm not saying he was a bad wrestler. And I didn't say he had great character. He had a character arc where he looked like he was about to turn to a pro wrestler, but he turned into a sports entertainer. I felt they just rushed that. And I wasn't fond of when he turned back into a sports entertainer. But I gotta admit, he has owned the action going, trying to show off as much as he can. And it's obvious he's going overboard with it. It makes him look stupid, but that's what he's going for. I will give him that. So seeing him do this with Katesuka, with Chris Jericho, when he's dancing over Chris with his damn crotch, it's understandable. In the end, what did we get? We got really what we were expecting. We knew Dom was going to do something to make sure the match was going to go in their favor. He did. He nailed Garcia in the face. I believe it was Daniel. Got nailed in the face with Floyd the Bat. And Chris is looking at Dom like, really? Did you just do what I think you just did? And for a moment he hesitated, but that moment didn't last long because he took the pin. He won it. And now, pretty much, Daddy Magic has made it clear he's calling out Vince. Well, not about to say Vince. Chris. You see, I got Vince on the mind because I am thinking and wondering what's going to happen. But I am not going to tell you what I think because it's too soon. This is going to come up sooner or later in this video that I'll be thinking about it because I am thinking about it, but I'm not going to answer it. Let's move on. Three-way match. Having three of the people that started the first Dynamite, Trent Beretta, Penta Zero, I believe that's his name, and John Mox. I always call him Penta, but John Mox. Like three guys that pretty much was there practically at the beginning. This was a straight up fight. That's what this was. 3-way match, anything goes. It was a straight out fight. Not something we haven't seen. It is exactly what we've been seeing for months. Straight out fight from Moxley. Straight out fight from Trent. Straight up Penta. Straight out fight. In the end, Trent won the match. Which I was kind of surprised. I thought it would have been Penta. Because he is the always champion. Tag champion. That didn't really matter because the Blackpool Combat Club comes in. Trenton's getting choked up by Mox. And they do get a couple of hits in. But the end is now going to be a parking lot brawl. Or a parking lot fight. I think it's next week. I'm thinking about Santana Ortiz with Best Friends. Damn good parking lot match. It was. I do not know how this is going to go down with all three of them. I'm not going to say it's going to be bad, but I just don't know how this is going to go down. Because what is the end goal here? Because Don Callis is not with the Blackpool Combat Club, which he should be, but he's not. And the kicker here is they need something more. The Blackpool Combat Club has been around for a while. They need something more. There's no Bryan Danielson. He's not there. Either he's hurt or he's taking off for a while. Or maybe he's working in the back in creative. I don't know which one. He might be working in the back in creative if he's not hurt. So, I'm not sure where they're going to go with this. That's just me. Next match. Trios match. The Elite versus the ones that should have been AEW champions. Which should have been AEW champ. You know I wanted Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal to win. That is what I wanted. I wanted it so bad because I wanted to see the Sleg Daddy so mad he would bring back assumed Jeff Jarrett position, and he probably would do this every time when he came on. He would do a Dynamite, Rampage, or whatever review whenever they're on, and I wanted it so bad, but he didn't. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. So we did get Singh, we get Lethal, and we get Double J. Satnam Singh hasn't really improved that much in the ring. He still seems clunky in the ring. I think he still needs more training. He's just not there yet. But I will give him at least the effort that he did look at least menacing enough that you see Matt and Nick do not want to get in the ring with him. It took both of them to try and do something, and even then he splattered them. So that's what we got. We got the Hardys coming out, nailing a Sanjay Dutt. We got Karen Jarrett coming out, making it hard for them, and getting sprayed in the face by Cutler. And then in the end, the Elite win. I'm not surprised. One Winged Angel on Jay Lethal. Which makes me feel bad because what are they doing with Jay Lethal? I want to see something with Jay. I'm just saying. But we did finally get a confirmation of something. Because it was Kenny himself. Because also we did have Adam Page come out and he started it. He said, Adam, there's something you want to say. That's Kenny. And he said simply, everyone's been wondering about us, but we don't have to wonder anymore. The Elite has re-signed with AEW. Everyone cheered, which is good. They're doing what they feel is right. But then when Kenny's talked, and this is something that many people have been speculating, will there be interaction? Because Kenny said simply, we are going to be seen everywhere. We're going to be seen on Collision. No, take that back. We're going to be seen on Dynamite. We're going to be seen on ROH. We're going to be seen on Rampage. Hell, you may even see us on Collision. So if they're giving that hint, that's a good possibility that whatever problems that the Elite had, Kenny, Jack, and Nick with CM Punk might have been squashed. And Adam Page. Let's hope it's been squashed. Because everybody wants to see the Elite versus CM Punk. Sooner or later, if they continue keeping them separated, people are going to think that not only this won't happen, but there's just a division that is going to hurt AEW eventually. Because it's obvious. If you got to keep these four separated, you got to keep the Elite separated from CM Punk, sooner or later, people are going to believe that there's a major problem in AEW and it's still not fixed. It has to be ended. They got to squash this. That means all 4 of them have to work together. That means 1 match at a time. Well, for 5 of them, actually, you do Hangman Page as well. But 1 match at a time for each of them. That would be the best way to end it. That's just me. All right. The ROH titles. Aussie Open versus Vikingo and Commander. I think I'd rather seen I know Commander is more seasoned than Gravity. I know. And it would look like there's being favoritism because Gravity is Bandino's brother. But to be honest, who is a better wrestler? Is it Commander or is it Gravity? Gravity is a bit better because he's much more charismatic. And I'd rather see a charismatic luchador with a more no-nonsense luchador in the Vikingo. Because Vikingo and Commander are almost the same when it comes to personality. And I really do believe they need to vary those up. You don't always stick the same personalities together in a tag team. Sometimes it works perfectly, other times it doesn't. And when you see how Commander was, he wasn't bad working with Vikingo, but still I'm not feeling it. I'd really rather see him with Gravity. I'd rather see Vikingo with Gravity that he can learn from him instead of letting Gravity work by himself. I'm just saying this. Aussie Open, Fletcher and Butch, I am happy. I am happy to see them as champs. They're great wrestlers. They have great personality. I like Fletcher because he's got a lot of personality. He just does. In the end, who do you think was going to win? Of course, it was going to be Aussie Open. There's no way they're going to make them job right now. I just don't see it. But it is good to see that's being done. But I'd rather still see Gravity working with Vikingo. I think he would gain a lot of experience with him. I'm just saying. Now, let's get to the things that was really interesting. We got Tony doing an announcement talking about All In. He doesn't really say who's going to be on the show. And this is something that I know that JD has talked about, Jesse's talked about, just Alex has talked about. Where is the card? There's no card yet. You got a couple of matches, but no major card going to Wembley Stadium. And that's going to be a major issue. If they do it in 2 weeks, they got only maybe next week and week after to do it. Really do it. Because if they don't and they take too long to do this, it is going to piss off a lot of fans. It will. Whether you like it or not, you need to have build-up. It's going to be no different than WWE, which I've always talked about. 3 weeks out, a month out, 2 months out would be great to build into a very special pay-per-view. All In is a special pay-per-view, and we still don't have a card yet. I haven't spoken about it. There's been no reason to. For me personally, until you hear it, it's going to be the question of the booking. The bookings they've been doing haven't been 100% trash, but the bookings haven't been leading anywhere. They've been basically going in a direction like this instead of like this. And that's what we need. We need them to go from here to here. They've been trying to build people up. They've been giving us a lot of great matches, but none of that has been leading to All In. And that's the problem that I know they're having, and I'm sure many of you are going to have if you haven't been thinking about it. The second thing, we got an interview with Jack Perry. No more Jungle Boy. Jack Perry coming out in the FTW title in his hand, and he makes it very clear that he calls out Jerry Lynn because Jerry addressed him last week. And he's calling him out now and saying, you know what? Get your sorry ass out here. I want to face you now. Jerry Lynn comes out and he says simply, you know what? I ain't coming out. I'm not coming out because I can't wrestle. You don't deserve it. I'll hurt a little kid if I could because I got a lot of screws in my neck and in my, well, basically in the back, in his spine and his neck. He can't wrestle. No doctor will clear me. But I did know somebody that was still wrestling from ECW, and he's willing to come and kick your ass. And we get RVD. Now, if I remember correctly, didn't RVD just post months ago, that he decided to cut out all sugar, and he got himself cut, and he was looking like this, looking like he got the cock diesel, he's got the muscles, which I don't have. I don't got no more muscles anymore. I can't exercise the way I can, so I can't build the muscle mass. But he came out, he kind of looked like he got a belly. Now, doesn't mean he ain't ripped under his shirt, but he looked like he's like this, almost. And from last time I saw him, he got the abs again. So it's kind of hard to tell. He comes out. He faces a Jack Perry. Jack Perry decides to bail, but then tries to attack. And we could see a Jack Perry run out of the ring when he couldn't nail him with the chair. And you see a nice spinning kick from a RVD. He can still get up in the air high and still kick. Admittedly, he can't go straight out with his left leg. Or was it his left or his right? I think his left or right leg. He didn't stretch his leg out completely. The guy's in my age bracket or much older. He's nearing 60. If I remember, he's nearly 60. He's like 57, 56, I think. Or is he 55? But he doesn't have the huge flexibility like he used to. He can still jump high and he can still do a round kick damn well. So it shows he's still in great shape. So seeing that this is going to happen next week, I'm alright with this. It's nothing wrong seeing an old legend come in and really work with someone new. And yes, I know I can't say that with Jack Perry, but I have to because his new persona. Look, Jungle Boy's been around for years, but Jack Perry's only reason to come around, so this is new. Let's go with that. Let's do the MJF. This I know I'm gonna miss something in this, so you need to watch that segment yourself because I know I'm gonna miss something that he said. Let me give it to you like this. A little bit of realism was put into here. This is what makes MJF great. He literally puts in some of his own real life into it. A really good wrestler, pro wrestler, understands if you're gonna reach somebody, use a little realism. He got ADHD, which I understand that. I got dyslexia. And I can understand that it's very difficult when you have some type of disorder. It messes with you, makes you more easy to be susceptible to things that happen around you. And he tried to make it very clear how bad it was for him. And I'm not saying that he's telling the total truth about the quarters being thrown on him and he's still waking up with cold sweats. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm not saying he hasn't gone through that. But he made it clear about that. He made it clear about his failed engagement, how people used him, all that kind of crap. But what it made it interesting was that he said from the time he can understand, the world felt like it's always going to be against him, and he's going to do whatever he can to make sure they can't hurt him. Now, I've known people like that. As hard as you think, there are people that are similar like that think every person, man and woman, is a douchebag. I met a few people that felt that way. And one of them did become a douchebag. A bad one. But that's just the way things go. And let's make this clear. Max is a douchebag as a character. And let's make this clear in real life. Let's turn the script a little bit. Max in real life probably is a dick. He can be a great guy to the people he cares about. But everybody else, he'll treat you like a freaking dick. He don't give a damn. So he wasn't lying 100%. So what you see is what you get. He's playing a persona and he's not a bad guy, but it doesn't mean he don't give a damn. He's going to be the way he is. He doesn't care. But the way he spoke, his attitude of how he manipulates the crowd to love him. Look, months ago, he was nothing but a fucking heel that we hated. We despised this guy, and now everyone is cheering him. If anyone thinks MJF is nothing but a piece of crap because he just can't wrestle and he can't talk well, you got a problem. Because you cannot see what is in front of you. Or, like one of the people who keeps commenting, you love WWE so much, you're always going to say this guy sucks. why do you watch me? Because that's what I'm going to say from now on. If this person, I'm not saying who it is, leaves a comment saying this is garbage, that MJF is nothing compared to Cody or what's going on with Seth or anything, I'm going to say, why are you watching me? Because you're wrong. I'll say it. But it was well constructed. The fans ate it up. It was done well. And when it came down to he calling out Adam Cole, telling him he loved him, telling him he thanked him, and then Adam Cole saying, look, I'm proud of you. Me and everybody else love you. We love you because you worked hard on it. And he also made it very clear, hey guys, wait, don't think I'm good. I'm still a scumbag. And that is one of the things that's going to make sure that when he does turn back to a heel, it won't be a problem. He's a face at this point, but he makes it clear, look, no matter how much you think I'm a good guy, I'm still the devil. I'll turn on your ass. Fine, that's great. I loved it. But then when he said, I was thinking about giving you your title shot, and the thought that came through my mind, and I considered it, no. And Adam's going, what? Why? What did I do? He says, no. He goes and takes a pad and he says, I had to think about this, and it isn't just any match I give you, the match. He wanted him to sign a contract for Wembley Stadium as the final match of the night. They're going to close with Adam Cole and MJF. MJF signs it. It's official. And yeah, Maxwell had to say, you know what, I love you, but you know I'm going to win at the end of the night. Yeah, sure, maybe, but hell, you know I love you. Let's show him. And that's it. And the person that got the most problem is Robert Strom. He is so mad that this happened, that he told Adam that MJF was going to turn on him. And it has not happened. And now he's exploding, blew a gasket in the back and started tearing the entire set apart. Well, whatever he can with the thing there. And then guess what happened? OGK showed up and say, look at your friend. Is that your friend? So that might mean Robert Strong may go to OGK and deal with them instead of dealing with Adam Cole and MJF. That might happen. And I think that might work for him, depending if OGK will actually be motivated to be on Dynamite or Collision. And they start working there like they did Honor No More in Impact Wrestling. Maybe they may be redoing Honor No More, but in an AEW style. That's what I'm hoping for. Final match. And I know there's other stuff. I'm leaving it. Like Daddy Ass, I'm leaving it because we'll know what they're going to say, the Acclaim, next week. But Shida versus... This is where I'm confused. I'm not forgetting about AR Fox. I'm not forgetting about what happened with AR Fox, Strickland, and Darby Allin, and Nick Wayne. That's the last thing I'm talking about. But I got to talk about this. Let's make this clear. Shida was the pandemic champion. She earned every accolade after that. She worked during one of the most hardest times in pro wrestling history when nobody could watch other than TV. There was nobody that could be anywhere because everyone's stuck home, sick, stuck home, to stay out of the way, just stuck. So seeing that she won this, I'm fine with it. But why here? If Tony believed that she earned the right to become champion with fans again, why not? Why is it here instead of Wembley Stadium? She showed her emotion. She was so happy to win. Fine. I'm not against that. But why is it here instead of Wembley Stadium where a real payout could be, where they could build into this? Why did they blow the load now? Why didn't they build into this instead of just getting it over with? It's ridiculous. I do not agree. This was wrong. Whether you like Shida or not is irrelevant. I think she's a gorgeous woman. She has worked years in the business. She worked during the pandemic. Whether you like it or not, She does deserve to hold that title one more time with fans. But why here instead of All In? Why not have the match at All In? Was it because something wrong with Toni Storm? Or was it that they just wanted to get it over with? I don't know. You guys tell me below. Finally, the last story we got here that was damn good. Strickland, AR Fox, Nick. Let me give it to you like this. Did this segment seem special? Yes. Seeing that AR Fox is making it very clear, hey, you said on in VidPack, hey, you said that I mean more than you anything, that I'm family, then why didn't you contact me when you first went to AEW 5 years ago? Why? When you were working with them for that year, that's what he was trying to say. When you were working with them that year before AEW became a thing, what about me? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me anything? Not until I saw you in the back did I know anything with you. That's unfair. So they went to Nick. Was it not Nick Gage? Nick. What's Nick's father's name? Nick Wayne. I don't know. I might have said Nick Gage. I'm sorry, because Nick Gage and Nick Wayne kind of make me think of it. But they went to the Wayne dojo right after that segment, and they decided they wanted to see what it was looking like. They went in, they whooped ass, they cut up Nick's face, and they made Nick go and call up Darby. And they made it very clear to Darby that what's going on is your fault because you didn't care about AR Fox. You're going to lose everything you've ever gained for the last 5 years. We're going to take it from you. Bye. Threw the phone, and they walked away and left Nick Wayne, I'm sorry I said Gage, Nick Wayne laid out bloodied. This is special. They're putting in real story, real life story. Nick Wayne's dad is gone. One of the reasons he's there is because of Darby Allin. Darby Allin's there because AR Fox trained him. AR Fox probably got in real life because Darby Allin was the one who recommended him. Let's make this clear, guys. I am definitely sure Darby recommended AR Fox to come in, and he recommended Nick Wayne to come in. There's no way he did not. There's no way that AR Fox should come in so quickly unless it was because of Darby. There's no way. So they threw real life stuff into it. Real friendship, real story. Is it perfect? No. Do I believe Nick Wayne need to bleed? If they really wanted to make it mean something last longer than All In, yes. But did he need to do it for most people? No. Many people will not agree with it. Many people think it sucks. But I think it does work here. But this is just me, and I hope you enjoy this Dynamite Delight 200 review. Please give me a comment below. Peace.